what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode here, Locker Room Sports Talk. I'm your host, Big Matt. Thank y'all for coming by and hanging out and making me part of your day here. Let's get down. Let's get dirty with it. We're going to talk about the Gruden has decided he's going to threaten the NFL. He's going to let loose, and he's going to cut loose on some people if they don't leave him alone, basically. Bediaka is finally ruled out. So all other 130 some odd schools and fans of all those schools, you can finally rest and know that Bediaka is not playing anymore, and Alabama is off the road to the national championship for college basketball. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, he didn't really add. I never really understood. I mean, I guess he was somebody else to play. So, you know, you need people, whatever you need. But, you know, Bruce Pearl, let's talk about him for just a second. Pearl has decided that he wanted to make a big deal out of it and figured it'd probably be a good idea to, you know, pretty much just say that, well, you know, Alabama's cheaters. They've always cheated. I really hadn't really expected much thing any different from Nate Oates. I mean, as long as I've been coaching here, you know, at Memphis and when I was around, I never broke any kind of rules or anything. Because Pearl never did, man. He's a stand-up. Oh, shut up, man. What a fool. What a clown he is. Ain't got to call anybody. He ain't got no right to call anybody out. He's been in trouble and been investigated before he was ever at Auburn. Talking about Pearl running his mouth about Oates. We're going to talk about the Chambliss trial. You do know that it's not automatic that he's going to play next year. I think a lot of people have heard this, guys. They assume that Trinidad is going to automatically play. He went to a local judge, and just because the judge there in the state of Mississippi, because he's on payroll there at Mississippi, and he's allowed him to do this, that don't mean NCAA can file an appeal to this, guys. I'm telling you. NCAA can still appeal this. It's going to put them in a mess because they're kind of counting on him to play because the NCAA has told them that he can't. He's not going to play. And they just, like 2 or 3 times. And they just keep saying, no, but he had, his tonsils out. He needs another year to play because he's scared to go. It's too late now. What's going to happen? The NCAA is going to appeal this, talking about Trinidad's case for Ole Miss. The NCAA is going to appeal this case. The draft, pro days and all that stuff's in April, right? And the draft and all the NFL draft, he's going to get stuck out in the mud, and he ain't going to get to do nothing. He's messed around and hadn't put his name in for the draft. And he ain't going to let him play college neither. What a huge mess that's going to be. Also, in some recruiting news, Auburn signed a top – he's in the top 100 defensive end playing out of Hueytown. He's a 4-star guy, and he had – I think it said he had 9 tackles for loss last year and 50 overall tackles for the season. And, I guess they went after him. He's a good player. And he's going to be in addition to a team that's kind of been run through and passed around. Auburn just hadn't had any – they just hadn't had players, man. It's been so bad so long there. They've had a decade. And, the only thing they've ever really had is – Charles Barkley, Bo Jackson, Cam Newton. I'm just saying, man. Just tell me if I'm wrong. So they pick him up. He's a top 100 defensive end guy. Played at Hueytown, same place that Jamie Winston played at, won a Heisman. Went to Florida State and actually, Hueytown, I think they made the first round playoffs year before. And in, I think last season, I think they won 5 games last year. But they've won their region, I think. Yeah, I know. Like, you don't have to win a bunch of games to win your region because their region, they're 6A, What region are they? 4? 5? 3, region 3 or 4. So Auburn picks up a good commit. Like I said, defensive end player. He's a big guy. I think he's like 6'5", 280 pounds or so, 250 pounds. Defensively, Auburn's going to probably be in pretty good shape. They bring back some guys. Keeping Coach Durkin is definitely going to be help. Now, they said, Cohen, the athletic director, that, if we keep Durkin, that we can keep this team together. Well, that was a lie. If I'm Auburn fans, bro, I would be PO'd about that. I would really be bothered by that because Huntsville, Alabama, before we live and in charge where I'm here. What's going on? I would be very bothered by that because Auburn wound up losing a lot of players. We're going to mention some Auburn basketball, Alabama basketball. We got the scores rolling down there on the bottom of the screen. We can go through that. Moore was the kid's last name. I thought I said that, but I did not. He was Auburn's first big commit for the 27 class. Also, speaking about the 2027 class, Alabama gets another receiver for this year's class, and he'll be on the field. And I would say I know that he ran track. He played at Mississippi Junior College. His name is Ty Henderson. That's what they call him. Call him Ty for short. Run the 100-meter. Had how many was it? Had set the record in the nation for receiving yards and touchdowns last year for JUCO. Ty Henderson, a young guy picked up by Alabama. He's run the 100-meter dash. He's the 11th wide receiver. Alabama's going to be picking up play in Mississippi Gulf Coast. And he was the number 1 receiver in the nation last year. Now, he's a 3-star guy, and I know these days a lot of people feel like, well, if the guy's not 5-star, I think some people are finally getting over that. Me personally, doing this show for 5-6 years now, I've never really been a big stars guy. I like Eli Manning. Remember watching him play. I always thought he was better than I just thought he was good, man. He played at Ole Miss, and I'm just going backwards that far to a guy I remember seeing play, and he got some love because of who he was. But Arch got a lot of love because of who he is, and I'm going back watching him play. He played high school football over in Louisiana. I never really thought he was that good. I just didn't. Be a 4-star, 5? No way. So you just never can tell about some of these guys. So Bama picking up Donovan Moore, 4-star defensive end lineman out of Hueytown. Getting a good lock-in guy. I think it's their first guy because their 27 class, Auburn's 2027 class, they ain't been ranked. So I hadn't looked today to see if they've changed them yesterday, if their class has been ranked now. And Bama picks up looking to pick up a quarterback, Elijah Haven, for the 27 class. Trent Seaborn from Thompson, he said that he is locked in and he's rolling with the Tide. And it don't matter if they get 5-star number 1 QB in the nation, Elijah Haven, he don't care. Trent said he, grew up always wanting to play at Alabama. It's always kind of been in his mind, and coming in here in the States and past several years and playing at Thompson, winning a state title at the highest rank in 7A at the time. There's only 6A classification highest now in Alabama, but he won 7A a couple of times. Won the first time as an 8th grader. I always felt like he just wanted to play for Alabama. So no matter the outcome, if they get Elijah or not, Trent says he's locked on Bama still, his quote. Now, there's only 3 weeks still, man. 3 weeks. Can you believe 3 weeks? It's going to be college football spring. Spring is going to be here. And Let's see what we got first. Yeah, let's talk about this first. Sanky, Greg Sanky, athletic director at he's the press, he's the commissioner for the SEC. Sanky said that pretty much, and I understand he's taken up for all the other 15 schools about Bediaka playing at Bama. I don't think anybody was just fired up about him playing because it's gonna. And here's the thing about that. I'm talking about the Bediaka case for Alabama basketball. Him playing didn't hinder the playing ability of some other players at Alabama. It just didn't. So Bediaka playing did not keep some young star from just getting pushed down in the weeds and sitting on the bench and riding the pine over there, passing out towels because Bediaka's taking up space on the team, says Auburn fans. Why they care about Alabama basketball? They are infatuated with it. It's amazing. Amazing. That's not true. He wasn't clogging up the spot roster because he wasn't really that good. That's why he didn't make the NBA, because he wasn't that good. That's why he went in G League instead of going pro. And then he played a little bit, and then he's like, you know what, I'm going to come back to college and really refine my game down. I'm going to just come back and be humble and earn my place and get better at it. Well, Sanky decided to point that out and let everybody know what a travesty it was and how, for shame on the University of Alabama for playing Bediaka like they're the only school that did it, like they really broke some kind of rules when the judge had given them injunctions after injunctions. Like it was just like George Wallace standing on the steps at Alabama or so. I mean, it was like just the worst thing ever. I understand why he had to do what he did, but after how that University of Alabama, carrying the SEC for decades, carried them without them making any money going to bowl games, the conference dies from crap teams that's never been nothing, till here, even lately. Vanderbilt's just been even relevant at all. Arkansas had some times. Remember when they had the Malik guy there? May rest in peace. I mean, Mississippi State, when they had Dak there, I just think it's just kind of bad business, kind of crappy for Sanky to kind of, just shame them. They didn't really break no laws or rules. It wasn't that big a deal. It's not like they're the first school to do it. So anyway, y'all, hit the comments and let me know, what do you think about not just the Bediaka case, but just, college basketball and stuff in general, and even football too. In high school now, Alabama, you saw that they're getting ready to pass for NIL, passing that for state of Alabama. They're getting ready to pass that. So y'all hit the comment section over there. Hit the thumbs up while you're rolling by the page. If you just come by and hang out for a minute, I appreciate it. Just hit the thumbs up, and I appreciate it. But let me know what you think about the Bediaka situation. And also, here's something else to think about. What about EuroLeague guys also? How does it compare with G League guys? Because, look, these Euro guys that are here, there's about 30 in the league playing. They're older players. Like Baker Lazar, he's like 20, he was 27 when he played at Auburn, 26. What do y'all think about Euro guys? Do we need to get rid of them too and just make this, just high school guys being able to come in to play college basketball and not have to wait behind some guy playing 5 or 6 years. We're talking about like Chambliss or something like that. What's up, dude? So tell me about Ohio. In high school wise, that's a good question. I'm glad you come by. What's up with how does Ohio high school do things up there? Do your kids have NIL rights to the high school? Can they go out and maybe do an advertisement for a car lot and get paid or something? And how is this new bill going to affect things going forward from high school to college? We already know that college guys getting paid already, and how that seemed to affect the game. Not everybody, remember this, man. Not everybody's getting paid, but I'm curious your take on about how the Euro League, and if we're kicking out G League guys, and I think we need to kick out Euro League guys too. I mean, that's just my opinion. And just make it, just make it straight up high school. How it's supposed to be. I mean, would it get back to being more pure, the game of just having high school people, guys and girls being able to come in and play? And would it be something y'all want to watch? I mean, would it be any loss, about how things – I don't know. It's just a question. Hey, this is y'all's page. I'm just coming by here bringing up topics for people talking about. Speaking about Ohio, let's see. We talked about Hueytown lineman headed to Auburn more. Talking about Ty Henderson. Headed over to Alabama, number 1 receiver in the nation for JUCO, like 2,000 yards. Bama holding on to Elijah Haven. Talk about Betty Yaka. And talked about Sanky and his bullcrap comments. Think that's pretty silly. NCAA. Yeah, I'm going to remind you guys again, this Trinidad Chambliss case for Ole Miss, it's not over. The NCAA can still appeal this. They can say, well, you're ruling, that's cool, everything you made in Ole Miss. But fortunately, he plays for the NCAA. He don't play for the state of Mississippi court system. He's still under the NCAA rules. All those rules apply to him. We have already told you, no, you're not playing another year of college football. Go away. You got Deuce Knight from Auburn, Ole Miss. Put him on the field. Let this young guy develop. Play him. Chambliss, you're not playing. It's put him in a bad spot to where he's not going to be able to go pro neither. So he's going to just be wind up hanging out or watching this summer. I don't know. I don't know which one or how that's going to work. So it's not over just because he said the state's giving him an injunction. The judge there in Mississippi. Breaking news here live at Ole Miss University, the university here in Mississippi, that Trinidad Chambliss will be he may not be playing. So don't be surprised if tomorrow I may come on here and break some news about it. Tomorrow, if he don't get to play, I'm just saying. So that's hey, look now the Gruden slander case, man. That was very interesting. What I seen a while ago, he's fixing to call out. I just run across that. Read some stuff yesterday. It was about. Wish I had it. See, I had all this stuff pulled up here. And what happened, I went on and did a little talking earlier, and the power went out. So everything I had up, the internet went off, so it shut everything down. Yeah, Gruden said, hey, look, man, y'all better leave me alone on this, or I'm gonna tell everything, because he knows a bunch of crap. The Nevada Supreme Court returned It said that was last year. Well, seek for testimony of Roger Goodell and the owners that John Gruden's attorney will seek testimony from them, the commish. The NFL has failed several times to get the state case thrown out, including a ruling by Nevada Supreme Court last year. But the feeling says that Gruden plans to summon Goodell, the long-term former NFL counsel Jeff Pash, Washington Commanders owner Snyder, and the Raiders owner Mark Davis, Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, and New England Patriots owner Bob Kraft. Gruden's list includes 2 designs of the New York Giants, the Seahawks, the Jets, the Dolphins, and additions that he is filing for Rock Nation CEO Desiree Perez, several attorneys with Washington law firm Reed Smith, and the former NFL Players Associate Executive Director DeMarcus Smith. Gruden attorneys that Adam Heinler declined comment. This time about the 2023 NFL story that Gruden emails leaked out to the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal cited interviews with executives, lawyers, agents, and league of the team and officials that, mostly speaking anonymously, have identified a complex web of relationships that might have resulted in the leaks. So pretty much Gruden was on air analyst with ESPN from 11 to 18 when all this stuff and emails were sent. So what about that? Gruden said he said, look, man, y'all keep fiddling around. I'm going to start calling all these. I'm going to have witnesses. Y'all going to take me to court? We're going to have witnesses in this case. We're going to have witnesses in the case. So we ain't going to be on here real long. About 10, 15 more minutes. We went through a couple of topics here. What about this? This was probably one of the bigger topics, I guess, of the day. Alabama and Ohio State killing their games to play each other. What do you think? Is it bad for fans? Sure. It is. It is bad for fans. I don't like it. I want them to play. It'd be a good game, man. It'd be a heck of a game. But this always in the hands of your committee. 2024-2025 college football committee decided that they were going to look at wins and losses. Not really much at who the teams played and had any honor in the idea of playing a tough schedule. That didn't matter to them very much. Not very much at all. So what's happened now, after Tony Petitti, the head dog of the Big Ten, called up to Greg Sanky, SEC commission, and said, let me tell you something, Greg. Here's what's fixing to happen. You're going to go ahead and play that 9th conference game in the SEC? Sanky says, but that's going to change our overall conference schedule strength to about 7 from 10. Well, Petitti says, we already play 9 conference games here in the Big Ten, which Greg replies, well, you know what? Your overall conference of the Big Ten, your strength of schedule overall as a conference is about 45. So we don't want to play non-conference games because the committee don't even honor the wins and losses now of who you play, ranked opponents or not. If you play a number 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 15, Bama played like 3, 5, 7, 12, 15. It don't matter to them that they lost to the SEC champs and to that team in the playoffs in Oklahoma. Oh, well. Indiana won all their games. They beat Oregon. They beat Ohio State. Okay. Now, one of the times beat Ohio State, that was in their conference title game. And then the cases are said to roll back the curtain, and we're going to show you this year, the 25 season, of how the Big Ten and these lies you've told about our strength of schedule being so tremendous. Ohio State, Alabama, we're not going to – we don't need to play this game. Of course Ohio State don't want to play Alabama, and Alabama don't want to play them either because they're already going to play about 7 ranked teams next year in their schedule. Ohio State will play about 3. That's if they make their conference championship game. So with them not being any validation towards honoring any type of ranked opponent, it's not good business sense, people. Think about it. It's not in good business sense for anybody to add another ranked team when you're probably going to already play about 6 or 7 ranked teams as is, to add another one. Because if you lose it, they're going to really, really knock you down and count against you. But if you win it, is it really going to help you that much? Is it really going to, bump you up? Because if you're already playing 5 other ranked teams, then of course Ohio State and Bama kind of just both drew their foot in the sand and both told each other to step over the line. And Petiti called Sanky his little B because he does what he says. Petiti from the Big Ten tells Sanky what to do. He said, you'll play non-conference games. And Sanky said, well, I guess we'll just dump that game with you. You Big Ten wonder horse there, Ohio State. And that's a big money loss for them, which their contract with Fox is a 2-year longer contract than the SEC has with ESPN, and worth about 40 or 50 million more, the Big Ten, that is. So, but they do have some more teams in their conference in the Big Ten than the SEC does. So I think this is going to become a new thing that you're going to start seeing more and more often. I've also heard that maybe the Alabama, Auburn and Notre Dame are supposed to play sometime here in the future, next 2 or 3 years. I heard that's probably going to go away too. I hope that it does. I hope that nobody ever schedules to play Notre Dame ever again anymore, because they have told everybody else that Notre Dame, you listen to us and what we're saying, and look, if we win enough games to finish at number 12, we should automatically get in. It don't matter what it is. If we can finish 12, we're in. And the thing is, with Notre Dame, they're not going to join a conference, because when they get in, guess who gets all that bowl money? They do, all of it. They don't have to split it like all these other teams do in the conferences. They don't have to split it. It's about money. I think most of you have already probably picked up what I'm stepping in. It's about money. Ohio State and Bama are both going to lose probably some revenue from not playing that game. Ticket prices are going to be insanely high, and we all know that you got to play those good games to keep those butts in seats. But if we're going to start backing off some of these good games because it's not any good for the team. It don't help them. You need to play another ranked team. So they're going to reschedule. They're going to drop Ohio State and I don't know, pick up Chattanooga. The ticket may be a little more affordable, but they're still high. It's going to decrease the amount of fans being able to participate in these games because now when you play 9 conference games, that's only 3 other weeks you got left. Well, you like to have a bye week. So then it gives 2 other weeks, right? It only gives 2 other weeks to play a homecoming game. It only gives 2 other weeks to and you say that, well, those cupcake teams, well, I mean, they, in Georgia fan. I had a Georgia Uncle Lou, that booger picking drunk. He come on and said something about Alabama not playing Ohio State. Dude, Georgia freaking played Marshall to open the year. They played Tennessee State to open this coming season. Shut up. Georgia fans, don't say nothing about opening week games. Ever say anything about it. You're exempt from the room. Don't say nothing about it. Done. Walk away. Shoo. Go on, kid. We're big boys are talking over here. Week 1 talk. So now Bama's going to have to replace, that game. But, can we afford to go to these games? Is it okay for dad and son just to take off and go to the game? What if the guy's got 2 or 3 kids? It's going to become a time that I remember being able to take our son to go to homecoming games, every year, or go to the A-Day game. And there's a way to have something to do and celebrate your team and let your son feel like he's a little part of it. We was at the Saban statue reveal. He got to talk to Javier Arenas, great young man. We talked to him, shook hands with Saban, spoke to him for about 10 seconds. And, but I don't know what other kind of opportunities we have to try to build the game of football. That's what we're going to spend the last 10 minutes here on, just talking about the overall, that overall case of the idea and the love that you have for the game. I've been doing this a long time, been covering this for a while. Is this going to be a time where you just may watch your team and you just kind of not going to binge watch anymore, on Saturday? Just, you thought about it on like Wednesday, Thursday, you already getting ready and preparing to what you're going to make Saturday. Are you going to do the bean and cheese dip? Are you going to do ribs? Are you having wings? Are you just going to do simple something? They just have burgers and hot dogs. It just seems like, heck, you can't afford to do that anymore. Everything costs so much. I mean, do you want to be able to go to a game? My God, man, you can't even buy a subscription to something because you got to have 4 different subscriptions to watch it. I mean, is it going to be on Peacock? Is it on YouTube TV? Or are they going to have a deal worked out with ESPN at the time where, they're even going to be able to air the game? Where are we at? We see in present day. But where are we going? Where is college football going? Is it still going to continue to be a young man friendly sport to where you can even have a guy you can cheer for? You see a young man coming out of high school, his story, you start cheering for him. Next thing you know, he's up and gone. He plays a year or 2 maybe with your favorite school. You buy the jersey. Cam Coleman Auburn jerseys are worthless. All them jerseys you bought. He's gone. Now, are you a fan of him or are you a fan of the team? So are you going to keep buying hats, jerseys and supporting that team, or was you just a fan of that player? What are we doing? It's created in such a huge market to where good football games, the way I started off this segment here, good football games like Ohio State, Alabama are sacrificed on the sword of the media because recognition of ranked wins is not important to protect the brand of the Big Ten. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. The Big Ten brand, ego, and pride must be protected at all costs because they won a national championship, so we got to protect that brand of the Big Ten. Alabama don't need to play Ohio State. Why? Are you going to play another ranked team? Why? Why you need to play another ranked team? You're already going to play probably 7 in your normal schedule. Auburn's going to have – have you seen their schedule for 26? Go check it out. Go look up Auburn football. If they win 6 games – if they won 8, I'd build that man a statue. Year 1, build Golesh a statue if Auburn wins 8 games. It's impossible. They got a tough schedule. So, unfortunately for us fans, we're going to be stuck with, I guess, Georgia and Tennessee State because Georgia ain't pulling the trigger on it. They ain't going out and stepping out on a limb and going to play no big brand team. You have to play one already. Remember, when you play 9 conference games, that leaves 3 more weeks. 3 more weeks. You want one to be a bye. One has to be a power team. And then the other is going to be your, Chattanooga's, Florida State International, Mercer's. And it's good for the bigger schools to play those small schools. Won't mind. That's just cupcake. But that's the way you see it from your side of it. Think of it as a view from the small school. They're getting money. They get a good check. Florida International used to come up when Nick was at Bama and Mal Moore was the AD. Mal was friends with the AD at Florida International. They would write them a check for $250,000 to come up and play and carry a butt whooping. They used 1 year. They used to build their band. They used the next time they played them the next year. They used to build them a practice, like redo their whole practice facility. It's big business. So you're thinking, they playing cupcake games. Yep. But Tennessee State, when they roll in there to play Georgia week 1, they're going to get destroyed. But they're probably going to get $300,000. And that may completely just redo their weight room. Just may help turn the program upside down and inside. It's be all kind of confidence that they need for their program at Tennessee State. So we're going to just miss out, guys, I guess, on some good football games. Because last year the idea was to protect that brand, to protect Indiana at all costs. And, yep, they won their games. And not having to play a lot of ranked games of ranked teams, it seemed it didn't matter. It just seemed like it did. Obviously it didn't. The only reason I think Bama got in was because they played for their conference championship. But I think that may soon go away too, man. We remember, Bama and Florida playing that first one. And, it's just fixing to change a lot. That's going to be 35 plus years to where we had that, checked in to where it felt like you really had a real winner. It really felt like that there was a clear-cut team and one of the better, even when the SEC wasn't that great, you still feel like you had a real champion because you played through all your games, and it gives the idea that you had a real winners and losers of the conference. I'm telling you, watch and see. Watch and see if I ain't right. Conference championship games are going to eventually go away. I'm betting on it. Conference championship games are probably going to wind up going away. It's just going to be another aspect of what we're seeing. And, man. So, anyway, that'll wrap us up for today here. Locker Room Sports Talk. Y'all hit the thumbs up on the way out the door. Bama dumps. Ohio State. They meet in the middle of the playground. Both draw a line with their toe, and neither one of them steps over it. Chambliss is allowed as of now for 6 years, but the NCAA can and will appeal again. I'm telling you, they will. And Bediaka in the news there, headed out of Alabama. And now all those young men that he was crowding on the bench will get to finally play. Oh, man, that's so stupid. So stupid. Let's run out of here. Lastly, we will get to the ranked SEC teams in basketball. Florida 14, Arkansas 21, Vanderbilt 19, Kentucky 25. And Auburn is, 5-7 in conference play and 9-3 overall. Bama is 8-4 conference and 9-3, same record overall. They have have 3 more conference wins than Auburn does right now. They're ahead on that, tied with Kentucky. And I think that Kentucky's played some more games. That's what's got them ahead right now. That's why they're ranked 25. And right now, Bama's on a 4-game win streak. They're 2-5 against AP teams, and Auburn is 3-7 against AP. So that's kind of where we're at. Those are the ranked teams, kind of like we got rolling in there at the bottom of the screen. Got the scores up there. Wasn't surprised by those games. Figured Bama would beat South Carolina. Fadlon, he's a good player. He's always going to come through and get points for them and get the ball, move the ball to the court. I'm a little surprised. I was a little surprised by the Arkansas-Auburn score. I figured it had been like 88-81. Arkansas. I thought they would win. They got a good team, man. Arkansas coach, he's been doing this a while, man. Oh, Coach Cal, he's got it going on. So I was surprised by Auburn losing Arkansas, just surprised by how bad Arkansas beat them. So, well, y'all come back probably Tuesday night, and we'll see. We'll see what happens on the way out the door here for Trinidad. I'm telling you, they're gonna wind up appealing this. They're going to wind up appealing this case, and Chambliss is going to be – I mean, what do? He's got a degree already. I mean, he's about 26, so does he just go down to the local store and start watching? I don't know. Start working somewhere? Is that what he's going to do? Talking about Chambliss, I mean, they think he's going to get to play another year. But the NCAA can appeal it, and I would not be surprised if they do. All right, that's all we got for you. And keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the page, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're over on YouTube. I'd love to get us up to 1,000 subscribers. Thumbs is more important, though. Thank you, everybody that come by. Had a lot of new people come by and hang out with me. Throw you all up there on the screen, give you some love. All right. Y'all have a great evening. And it'll be beautiful. Pretty nice week, man. Up here for North Alabama, especially in the 60s, probably 50s at night. Probably jacket in the morning, maybe shorts in the evening. I probably could wear shorts all day, but I probably will. I'm inside most of the day. So, all right, y'all be blessed and keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God. And we'll catch you next time here for Locker Room Sports Talk. Thank you.